Guys, I've got a confession. I have let all of the products I've tried recently build up to a ridiculous amount again, and I said I wasn't going to do this again, and here we are. The amount of products that I've got in front of me, it's literally taking up the entirety of my desk. I don't know if I'm going to have a voice left by the end of this video, and because there are so many products, this is going to have to be my quick thoughts on each of the products that I have tried for the past, I don't know how many months worth here, to be fair. I think you're going to need a snack. I think you're going to need a drink. Just warning you now. So some of these things I have bought myself and some of these things I have received in PR. Regardless, I don't care if I've received it in PR or not. I'm going to give you my honest opinions on each and every product. Like I say, hopefully at speed and hopefully not too in depth. Now I do have a video testing, I think, every single product that I'm going to talk about, so if you check back on my channel, you'll be able to find where I'm using the product in a bit more depth, talking about it a little bit more, and probably doing swatches and things like that. I've tried to group them into categories of brands. We'll see. I'm going to start out with the ColourPop Tangled palette. Yeah, it's been a little while ago since I tried this one out. It's been a real long time since I've done a video like this. This is the colour story inside if you didn't know what it looked like. Again, I've done a video on this if you want to see the swatches and the look that I did. And I think it's nice. It's nothing to write home about. I don't think it's the best ColourPop palette that I've got in my collection. I think some of the formulas of the ColourPop palettes are fantastic. And this one is just okay. So would I necessarily recommend picking it up? No, not really, not unless you are a die-hard Tangled fan. Next up we have the Glaminatrix Tones of Turd palette. I do think they are bringing this back if it's not back already, and you can get the other version of it which is called Grounded, I believe, if you don't want the poo related connotations to the palette. Of course I was going to get the poo version. This colour story and this formula is absolutely delicious. I will say the mattes are on the more drier side of mattes, but they are still richly pigmented, blendable and beautiful. The shimmers in this are absolutely spectacular. I'm so glad that I picked this up. I don't always buy from Glaminatrix just because the shipping can be quite expensive because they are based in Australia, but I am so glad that I got this one. I really wanted to get the new Bonfire one as well, but again, the shipping, it's a lot. But this palette is absolutely ridiculously beautiful. So glad I picked it up. Love the looks that I've done with this, and I still reach for this regularly when I'm not filming. Then we have Mystic Maker's first ever eyeshadow palette, which was very kindly sent to me. Now Mystic Maker, I am used to them releasing lots of different coloured lip products, so when they were bringing out the first ever eyeshadow palette, of course I said yes to receiving this because I wanted to test it out. Now this one does have some pressed glitters in, and I am not the biggest fan of pressed glitters. I don't like to use them in my looks. I know a lot of people in my comments sometimes say, oh, I love pressed glitters. That's great, you might absolutely love this palette with the pressed glitters in, but for me, I wouldn't be using the 3 that are included, but I would use the rest of the palette. I think it was a nice formula. It's a very good start for the brand. I do like the fact that we've got bright colours in here as well as a white and a black. And I did find the shimmers easy to pick up on a brush. I found the mattes to be pigmented and blendable. Then we have the Nomad Cosmetics Witch City Salem palette. There was no way I wasn't going to be picking this one up. Nomad are amazing. I love them. I've got a lot of videos of their palettes on my channel, and I like to collect their palettes. They are a destination-based indie brand. They base all of their palettes on different destinations around the world that they have travelled to. They are US based themselves, and each time that they release a palette, they do gift some of the profits that they receive to a cause in the region that they have based the palette on. And this one has got one of those, whatever that is called, which is super cute, and of course this was the Halloween release. Big mirror inside, and the colour story is incredibly beautiful. If I was going to be releasing a Halloween themed type palette, this is the colour story that I would be wanting. The greens, the oranges, the purples, even the berries. Absolutely scrumptious. Love the formula as usual with Nomad. I do prefer the matte formula from Nomad over the shimmer formula, but these shimmers are absolutely beautiful. And I just think this is a versatile palette as well. You do have some cooler tones in this and more neutrally leaning shades, as well as some very bright, gorgeous shades. Like, you know, I'm loving this green matte. And with this collection as well, I did pick up one of the lipsticks, and this was in, what is this? What are you? Tell me. Witching Hour, because I wanted to pick up the shade that was a little bit different. I think there was a plummy tone and a red, and I obviously went for the sort of yellowy golden tone, and I think this looks absolutely beautiful, especially on top of like a brown lip liner. Stunning. Nice to see that they're doing something a little bit different. Then I did try this, I can't remember how to say this, Beauty of Joseon, and it is the Daily Tinted Fluid Sunscreen SPF 30. I can't even remember if the shade was right for me in this. I just remember hating the formula with a passion. It was very, very greasy, very low coverage. Even when I set it down, it didn't look the best. I just don't think it went well with my skin. I have dry skin, even though I do keep on top of it with skincare, but even so it clung to dry patches. It looked like sort of a film layer over my skin rather than melting into my skin, and yeah, it was just far too greasy for me, so that was a little bit of a disappointment. And I did get this in LP 100, I'm assuming that's the shade. I'm not sure if I've used this in a video or not, but I have been using the Maybelline Grippy Serum with niacinamide in it quite a bit off camera, and I absolutely love this as a primer. It is definitely grippy and sticky and tacky, which is what you want when you're going to be applying a foundation on the top, and I've had no issues with pilling or making my foundation look weird, anything like that, so I think this is a fantastic primer. Okay, I have two palettes here and some lip liners from Singe Beauty. So the first palette I'm going to talk about is the Agate Temptation palette. I did very kindly get sent these things in PR, and I love Singe Beauty because it's run by Angelica Nyqvist, who is a beauty YouTuber that I like to watch regularly, and we have very, very similar colour story preferences, formula preferences, that type of thing. So of course all of the things that she releases is kind of to my taste. So the colour story inside, the greens, the greens, the orangey, reddy warm tones, I mean, it's absolutely stunning. I loved the look that I did with this palette. Probably some of my favourite looks that I have done on my channel and Instagram, to be quite honest. The formula is extremely high quality, and the shimmers do not break up in the lid. They are high intensity and beautiful, but they're not super creamy to the point that you're going to be having issues if you've got slightly hooded eyes. This formula works really, really well for me, and I really love the fact that we have the bright tones as well as more of a pastel leaning matte up here and some deeper tones for the depth. I can't recommend this palette enough. If you do enjoy buying from US indie brands and you are a colour lover or a neutral lover, I mean, you can go leaning neutrally, then I would recommend this palette. The other palette as well that she released more recently is the Paisley Hoop palette, which is definitely more neutral leaning. As you can see, not the same as the bright pops of colour from the previous palette, but there's still enough colour in this to interest me. If a palette's too neutral and too boring, shall we say, it doesn't really call my name. The looks that I did with this, two completely different looks, one very, very neutral leaning and one very sort of colourful, compared to the actual palette. When you're looking at it like this, you wouldn't necessarily think you could pull out a look like that, but I was very, very pleasantly surprised with this colour story, and I think colour lovers and neutral lovers will like it regardless. Again, light depth. This matte white is probably the best matte white I have in my collection. It's ridiculous. It's pigmented, it's delicious, it doesn't just blend away into nothing. It's astonishing. Like, you know, if you've ever tried to look for a really good matte white in your collection and you just can't find one, this palette definitely has it. And I really like the fact that these are more earthy, clayey, grungy types of tones as well. I just think the undertones of each shade is really, really interesting. So again, absolutely loving that palette. And with that palette also came out the evocative Singe Beauty lip liners and makeup bag. Now, I did get to pick 3 of the different shades that were released, and of course I had to pick 2 orangey leaning ones. I am wearing one today. I think I'm wearing, which one am I wearing? This one. I'm wearing Jazzy Juniper as a lip liner today. I also really like, is this one Tender Teak? I feel like it is. Yes, Tender Teak and Optimistic Oak. Optimistic Oak is fantastic. I use this more regularly than any other lip liner now because it's just a nice deep brown. But if I want something orangey leaning, which I often do, these two are absolutely perfect. And the formula of these is exactly what I like. I don't like something that's too creamy because then it just feels smeary and it gets everywhere, and it doesn't It's not as precise as you need it to be for a lip liner, and this is just the right amount of glide and pigment and precision. And as well, you can blend these. So if you're wanting to do more of a lip contour, once you've drawn it on, if you give it a little bit of a tap and a smudge, it blends out absolutely beautifully. So I would really recommend these lip liners if you are thinking about picking anything up from Singe. And a super cute little makeup bag as well to keep lip liners in, or as well makeup brushes in case you want to use it for travel. It does have a nice strap as well, but you can take this strap off and then just keep it in one of your drawers if you want to, you know, keep a collection of something in it. Now, I did pick up a few things from the Fine TikTok shop, and I did pick up a cream bronzer. It's a bulky one, let me just say. This is, what shade is this? I'm thinking SS.06 because I can't see anything else on the packaging. Now, it is a nice soft touch matte packaging, but it is so bulky. I just think it could have been slimmed down a lot. Like, what did we need the component to be this size? I don't think so. And then inside, this specific shade is far too warm for me. I don't like a bronzer that is too warm. It really irritates me. I like a more cool toned bronzer. So I definitely picked the wrong shade for me. However, the actual formula itself is beautiful. It is blendable. It does look effortless and sort of natural looking on the skin if you pick the right shade for yourself. I also got from Fine the Dimension Blusher Duo in Blushing Beige. Sorry, I'm blinding you with the packaging. And you can slide it up to, let me just try and cover this up. See the two peachy shades that I got in this? I think it's a nice formula. I think it's really nice. I don't think it's anything spectacular to write home about, but I'm not disappointed. It does look pretty when you put it on. So if you were thinking about it, I think it is nice. I will say though, this plasticky packaging does feel a little bit on the cheaper side. I did also get the Perfectly Plush Universal Lip Balm from Fine as well, and really I got it for the packaging, I'm not gonna lie. Am I ever gonna wear this as a necklace? Absolutely not. However, do I like the fact that it's got the chain? Yes, yes I do. You can also remove the long chain and just keep it as a clip to put on your keys, or totally remove everything. Oh my gosh. And just have it like this, and then this is what we're working with. And it is a universal lip balm, and it's nice. It's a nice moisturising formula on the lips. Again, I did get it for the packaging, and if you're thinking of it for the packaging, then it's nice. But the actual product itself, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of products out there like this. Okay, moving on to Primark. I did pick up a Primark lip liner, and this is the PS Pro Lip Plumping Liner in, does this have a shade name? I have no idea if there's a shade name on this. I cannot see anything that resembles a shade name, but it's brown. Yeah, when I was picking this up, I didn't read plumping liner. It's painful, it hurts, I don't like it. If you like plumping products, you might like this. It is pigmented and it's a really nice colour. Not that it says on the packaging what colour it is, but yeah, it's a hurty one. So if you like me and you don't like that, just beware and read before you pick anything up from Primark. Does it say plumping on it? Moving on to Beauty Bay. I did pick up the Beauty Bay Locked In Longwear Eyeliner in Coffee because I realised I didn't actually have a lot of eyeliners that were brown. I have a lot of different brightly coloured ones, but I didn't have brown. So I picked this up, gave it a go, and it's pigmented, it stays in the waterline, it doesn't irritate my eyes, and it's really nice. It is, again, a soft touch matte packaging, and yeah, it's just a brown eyeliner. I do wish they would extend the range and come out with a variety of colours, because if they're as good as the brown one, then that could be a nice affordable option for picking up some liners. Their new double-ended brow pen thing. I was impressed with this when I first used it. On one side you do have like a felt tip applicator, and on the other side you have sort of two prongs to sort of draw hairs in. And it does work really well. However, it's not as pigmented as my NYX one, the Lift and Snatch Brow Pen. I much prefer my NYX one, and I'm reaching for that over this one because it's just, it feels a little bit more watery, not as pigmented. And I don't think this is going to last as long because it already feels like it's kind of running out when my NYX one lasts me much, much longer. So I would really recommend the NYX one over this. The Hyper Gloss Lip Click from Beauty Bay in... Does this tell me what shade? Please, please somebody tell me the shade name. Softie, yay, I found the shade name. Yeah, it's one of those lip clicks, and you have to have a really good formula if you are gonna have this type of component. And unfortunately, this is very smeary, it's very messy, it gets all over the place, and I don't think it should have come in a lip click format. Then we've got the Dewy Hint Lip Tint in Brûlée from Beauty Bay, which I don't know if they're just repackaged and rather than reformulated for these lip tints. It's not the best formula of lip tint I've ever tried. It does work, it's okay, it doesn't feel awful, but again, nothing to write home about. For a long time, Beauty Bay didn't have any eye bases any longer, any eye primers on their website, and now we have them back again, but they currently, I think, are sold out. So here we have the All Set Beauty Bay eye primer, and I got mine in the shade number 2. I don't know if it's the exact same formula as what they had before, but they've just changed the packaging because they've updated a lot of their packaging. But after using the Sigma eye base for a long time, I've realised that the Beauty Bay one, although I can blend on it and the shades do look pigmented, it's very thin compared to the Sigma one, and it creases a lot quicker and a lot more. So if you have oily eyelids or hooded eyes, I would really recommend the Sigma one over this one. The Beauty Bay Layer Up Blush Duo in Peachy Keen. I really need to stop buying peachy shades of blush. This was fine, I suppose. The cream part that's at the top with the little plastic over it is nice. It's not the best cream blush that I've ever used. And the powder as well. It's quite a harsh looking powder on the skin. I don't know if it's just the specific colour that I got, but it didn't blend out, it didn't look effortless, it just looked a little bit, it was that pigmented that it was very, very difficult to sort of blend out and make it look effortless and natural, so it's definitely not my favourite blush duo. Then they released the Desert Haze palette, and this was quite a while ago. This is how long I haven't done a big, huge review. I mean, it's a neutral palette with a pop of blue. Like, we've never seen that before, have we? Some people might absolutely be loving this colour story, because there's a lot of people out there that love neutrals and that like the sort of clayey green orangey tones, but for me this just feels like a little bit of a boring colour story. It's like I've seen this a million times over. Does give me Natasha Denona Metropolis vibes a little bit, so is it trying to dupe that maybe, and that's why they brought this out? I mean, I did also try the shade Yucca, which is like a pastel-y lemon, and I don't know where the pigment was. It just wasn't impactful like I'm used to from Beauty Bay mattes, and it's just a little bit of a disappointment, this palette, to be honest, for me. Then they released the Dark Lights palette, which is very, very dark. I mean, can I complain at it, the fact that it's so dark when it's called Dark Lights? Possibly not. I don't know if this was a smart release for them. We have 2 very similar purples in here, and then a third brighter purple. We have Base, which is a lighter matte. And there's a lot of shimmers in this. It's so shimmer heavy. If you like deeper shades and you like a lot of shimmers in a palette, this might be your perfect palette and colour story. For me, it's just lacking so much. I feel like palettes that have more mattes give me more options. I could do more things with them. They're more versatile. Just giving me a palette full of shimmers isn't really doing very much for me, especially when it's so deep overall. And I think a lot of the shimmers in this are very, very samey. On the eye, they're gonna look more or less the same. So yeah, again, disappointed with that from Beauty Bay. Moving on to Odin's Eye. They came out with, oh my gosh, everything's falling, 4 palettes for each of the different seasons. They very kindly gifted me these in PR, and I did do a video on each of the palettes. I have to say my favourite out of the palettes is definitely the Autumn palette. Look, I love autumn as a season, and the shades that are included in this are stunning. I will say about all 4 of these palettes, the formula in every single one is stunning. I love Odin's Eye formula. The mattes are pigmented, the pastels are ridiculously pigmented, the shimmers are beautiful, and there is a variety of shimmer formulas in each of the palettes. There's some toppery shades, some shifty shades, some more traditional leaning shades. Look at this colour story. Can you see why I like the autumn one the best? It's absolutely delicious. Loved playing with this, and I think this one is a really, really nice colour story for autumn. Now, the winter palette was probably my least favourite of the colour stories out of these 4, and that's just personal preference, to be honest. I think it's pretty. I think it's really, really nice. But if I'm having to rank them and compare them to the other three, this would probably come at number 4, but still beautiful, beautiful colour story and formula. Then there is the summer palette, which confused me a little bit. I mean, a few people in my comments did say that this does speak summer to them because you think of like blue skies, beaches, that type of thing. But the blues in this are absolutely delicious. And the fact that we have this orange shifty shimmer in here as well, love, love, love that. This would be 3rd in the ranking. Surprisingly, spring. I honestly did not think I was going to like this colour story as much as I did. This one is the most versatile, I think, out of the 4 palettes because there's just so many different tones included. This orangey pink that's shifty, absolutely impeccable. It looks incredible on the lid. We have the, oh, just looking at this again makes me want to use it. We have the absolutely stunning pastel blue up here. We've got the pinks, we've got the purples, we even have a deeper brown. This is definitely the most versatile and up there with the autumn palette in my opinion. But every single palette, whichever colour story you prefer, amazing quality, and I would recommend them all. Now with that collection came out a lot of lip products. I think we've got, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 liquid lipstick and then 6 lip oils. I think they're tinted lip oils, lip glosses. I do believe that I did a reel swatching all of the lip products. I don't know if that is over on... Is that on my Instagram? Is it on my TikTok? But the formula of both of these lip products I really enjoy. I feel like the liquid lipstick is a little bit more of a soft matte comfort formula for me, and then the lip oil that's slightly tinted is extremely comfortable, cushiony, not sticky and goopy, and it is really, really nice on the lips. So I can't complain at any of the lip products. I've always enjoyed the lip products that I have tried from Odin's Eye. Okay, now we're moving on to some Morphe. We have the Sunset Swim Cheek Thrills Trio, and oh, okay, you're a little bit sad, you don't want to stay up, okay. Now I was using this more of a bronzer rather than a blush, but again, you can definitely use this as a blush, and it's good. Is it spectacular? Not necessarily spectacular, but it's nice, it's blendable, it looked nice on the skin. I don't have any complaints about it. The 2 eyeshadow palettes I tried from Morphe, I had high hopes for these. Really high hopes because I like the aesthetic of the packaging and how these look. So we've got the Sky-Fi palette and the Python Code palette. Now there were more that were released, but I just picked the 2 colour stories that spoke to me for the most. Now this one I picked up because it has the depth in it, and I need some depth because the other one doesn't really have the depth apart from this shade, which is like a shimmer satiny formula, and I needed a deeper matte. So I thought if I buy both of them together, I would at least be able to come up with a look that I really liked. I am very disappointed in a lot of the pigment in these palettes. It's not the best quality. Some of the shades are better than others. I would say in this palette, the 2 lighter matte shades, there is only 2 mattes in this and 2 mattes in that. Again, you see, I need more mattes. Give me more mattes, Morphe. Yeah, the 2 mattes in this, very, very weak pigmented, lackluster, thin. Disappointing. The 2 shimmers in the middle, I'm not quite sure what formula that's trying to be. I don't know if it's trying to be a topper. It's, again, very, very lackluster. The blue was nice, but overall quite a disappointing palette. Now this one, the brown matte, was good and it was pigmented. Again, the rest, not so much, not so much. I really don't think that they're worth picking up, to be honest, unless you like eyeshadow that is literally barely there, which is definitely not my aesthetic. And then I don't think I've shown these on camera, but I did pick up the, what are these? The lip filters, and I got them in the shade Teddy and in Petal, and I did pick up a lip liner as well. This is the Soft Matte Filling Gel Lip Liner in the shade Honey. I actually really like this lip liner. It's not too creamy. I can be precise, but not as precise as with the Singe Beauty ones, and I think it's a nice shade. Now the 2 colours that I picked up in the, what's this called again? Lip Filter. I think they're nice. This is how they look on the inside, and this one leans a little bit more peachy, which is why I picked it up, and it does feel comfortable. It kind of blurs the lines on your lips a little bit, and it is like a soft matte type of situation. However, I can still sort of feel it on the lips, and it's not the most comfortable one I've ever tried, but it doesn't really bother me either. This one is a little bit deeper and a little bit more pinkier, and I would reach for this one a lot less because of the type of shade that it is, but it's nice for some looks, and yeah, they're okay. They're nice. Do I have better in my collection? Probably. Then we have the Morphe Light Form Extended Hydration Foundation and the concealer. What concealer is this? Wake Up Artist Under Eye Correcting Concealer in Ivory 3N. The concealer, extremely light compared to the shade that I picked in the foundation, which is Light 05N. This is not my shade. I look ridiculous with this on. And this one is so light with it that it again looks a little bit crazy in combination. However, the formulas of both I do enjoy. If you buy your correct shade, I think these are really, really nice products. I do have a testing video of these products if you want to check it out. But yeah, really, really nice from Morphe, so at least they weren't disappointing. Moving on to What's Up Beauty, they sent me quite a lot of blush and bronzer products. Now, 2 of the deeper bronzers I have gifted away to friends because they were too deep for me, but the 2 that I kept the lightest one and the middle one, so we've got 20 medium and 10 light. And they are purple packaging for the bronzers. They are absolutely stunning. I think they're a baked type of formula. They have a marble effect inside. This is now my favourite bronzer. I use the 10 light every single time I do my makeup. It's effortless, it's beautiful, it's not too warm, it is absolutely stunning. Would highly, highly recommend this bronzer. And then I did keep the 20 medium because when I've got my fake tan on, this will be absolutely perfect. The blushes, all 4 of them, are stunning. So we do have Gentle Genova, which is the one that I'm wearing today. This formula of blush is the most effortless, blendable, seamless looking blush formula I have in my collection. If I want, I mean, I built it up today, but if I want something subtle, natural looking, effortless, it's just a joy to use these blush. Like, this is the opposite of the Beauty Bay blushes. That is just too pigmented, too harsh, and it's very difficult to blend out. This is a buildable, effortless, stunning formula of blush. I would, again, highly, highly recommend these. So this is Gentle Genova, like I say, what I'm wearing today. I have used all 4 of these regularly. Then we've got Relaxed Roma, which is more of a neutrally type of blush shade. Then this one is Peaceful Pisa, which is a super light pink. And then we have more of a vibrant pink, and this is in Serene Sienna. Every single one of them I have used numerous times. Every single one effortless, stunning, gorgeous. I could go on about them more, but I will stop here if you were thinking about it. Amazing. And then What's Up Beauty did bring out 6 different liquid lipsticks. The formula of these is so thin, I'm nearly dropping them. So thin on the lips, so it doesn't feel cakey and horrible, like, you know those awful thick liquid lipsticks that kind of make you feel like you can't move your lips properly? This is not that. This is a stunning formula, and actually the way that they look even in the component is beautiful. I do have a lip swatching video over on my Instagram and on my TikTok of all of the different shades of liquid lipstick, and the one that I'm wearing today is Caramel Veil because it is the most orangey leaning, and I think it's stunning. It's orangey, but it's still kind of neutral leaning, so it's not too scary for people that don't want like a bright orange. They are all kind of leaning pinky, orangey, plummy types of tones, but the formula for each one is long lasting, kiss proof, comfortable. Like, I've been drinking my coffee and my lipstick hasn't gone anywhere. So again, What's Up Beauty have absolutely smashed these lip formulas. Moving on to Arttitude Cosmetics, a UK indie brand, and I do have a code with Arttitude in case you want to pick anything up from them. So first I'm going to start off with the Arcana palette because that was the one that was released before the next one. And I can't remember, did I do 2 looks with this in my video? I feel like I must have done. This colour story is beautiful. It is more on the cooler tone side, but the intensity of each of the shades in this, like the aquary greeny colours with the purple, it just makes me feel so happy looking at this. Like, aesthetically, it looks like a stunning palette, and actually using it, the formula of Arttitude has come on in leaps and bounds over recent years. I have been using Arttitude since way back in the day. I think I had their first palette. I think I had every single palette from Arttitude, come to think of it. And trying each of the different formulas as Arttitude has evolved and now got to this point, fantastic. It's amazing to see UK indie brands constantly trying to improve their formula, their packaging, and even their logo. Arttitude had a logo change recently, and it's just getting better and better each time. If you like this type of colour story, I think you would love this palette. Then the next palette they brought out, which is the newest release currently, is the Submerged palette. This is a little bit more dark and a little bit more deep, but it's like that sort of siren, mermaidy type of feel, and I think these two would pair absolutely beautifully together. Every single shimmer in this palette is shifty and special in some way. There's like a holochrome in this, which I think is Echoes. There's duochromes, there's a toppery shade. The mattes are extremely pigmented, like I say, Arttitude getting better and better and better. The quality of this palette is phenomenal. They always have a nice mirror, and the cover art is always something different and very, very striking. Okay, moving on to Beauty Moon Cosmetics. Some of the products I'm going to talk about have been from the subscription boxes that they do. They bring out a subscription box every 3 months, and you can sign up for that subscription. And the box retails for £30 every 3 months, but the products inside are definitely always over the value of £30. I don't think my discount code with Beauty Moon works on the subscription boxes, but it should work on anything else that you want to pick up from the site. So we have a lot of things here. First of all, I'm going to start talking about one of the products from the box, and this is the primer. I can't remember which box this was in. I don't think it was the most recent one. I think it was the one before. And I really like these boxes because it's a variety of different makeup products in each one, and this primer is fantastic. It's a nice gel formula, and my makeup applies beautifully on top of it. I don't think you can buy these products individually. I think they are exclusive to the box, so definitely sign up for the boxes if you want these types of products. Then there was the blush in Divine. This is definitely not the type of shade that I usually go for. I don't typically gravitate towards purpley toned blushes, but the formula of this is really nice. Then we have the mascara that they came out with. Now, some people will absolutely love this mascara, but for me, I'm quite picky and very specific in what I like for mascara. This wand is just too big for my liking. I like a really, really slim, thin wand. It's not my favourite formula of mascara that I've ever tried. It definitely applies. It doesn't, you know, cake up and flake all over your face throughout the day. I think it's just more of a preference thing for me. You either like the bigger wand or not, and yeah, this one is just not my favourite. The Aurora Spell Beauty Moon palette, which came in the box as well. This little quad is adorable and a really nice formula. I have got probably hair on absolutely everything that's on my desk, but an absolutely stunning formula. Again, check out my videos if you want to see swatches and looks with all of these different things. I think the other things that came in the boxes as well was the Winter Veil palette. I absolutely loved using this one. This is a 6-pan and it's a complete palette for me because it's got a light shade, a mid-tone shade, and some depth, and 3 delicious shimmers that, again, are a variety of depths. So this is definitely a complete palette for me. That was beautiful in the last box that they came out with. I'm not sure if that one's still available currently. Then we have the Twinkle Kiss lipstick, which is in the most recent box, and it's a little bit of an orangey leaning, sort of not fully opaque, but sparkly type of comfortable lipstick formula. Absolutely love this. I want to see more shades in this formula and this type of format, and I love the packaging of this one as well. The Polar Multichrome eyeliner. Perfect for lining a cut crease, doing your eyeliner, drawing on some fancy little designs for Christmas, and the fact that it is so shifty as well, that is a really nice addition. Like, this is fantastic to have in a makeup subscription box. It's like, I don't think a lot of makeup subscription boxes have these types of products, and they're always just so interesting and different, and I'm always excited to see what's going to be inside. Then we have the Fairy Fizz Multichrome pigment. I used this in my look and it blew my mind. It does have a little stopper on the top, which is fantastic for a little pigment pot because we definitely don't want that to be getting all over the place. Some of them don't have the stopper on the top. And inside it's just like a you're not going to see it from there, but inside it's like an actual mermaidy dream of happiness. It's a blue pigment, but it's got pink, it's got gold, it's got purple. Absolutely beautiful. And again, I believe this came in one of the boxes. This is like a baked eyeshadow. It's in Glacial, and again, I think this was in one of the boxes, the last box that came out, and it's like a blue eyeshadow with pinky purple reflex, and it just matches the collection that came out in that box beautifully, and I enjoyed using this. I used this in my testing video. Now, the other things didn't come in boxes. We have 6 different highlighters. I love the highlighter formula and the component for the highlighters from Beauty Moon. And I love different shades of highlighters, not just your typical champagnes, silvers, that type of thing. I like different colours like purple, blue, that type of thing. Worship is a gorgeous yellow. Oh, it's absolutely stunning. Like, look at this. Sinner is like got a pink to it. Saint is just like a straight up icy highlighter. The one on my little finger is Fifth Day. This one is Eden. And this one is Diablo. Like, they are all stunning and I love them. Sorry about that, I have just had to change my battery because yes, I have been talking for that long. So if it looks a little bit different in here, I do apologise. Next up from Beauty Moon is the Medusa palette. Absolutely incredibly beautiful on the inside. This is a little bit of a different colour story. I don't feel like I'm as bright as I was before I left. This is like a deeper, rich, some jewel tones in this. We've got shifty shades in this, toppery shades, a really, really nice theming and colour story with a really nice formula from Beauty Moon. Then last but not least, we have Cosmic Beauty or Cosmic Brushes, one of my favourite UK indie brands. They are amazing. I have loved every single product they have ever released, to be fair. The amount of attention to detail for the formulas, the packaging, the colour stories and aesthetics is second to none. I've not really come across anyone that doesn't like anything from Cosmic Beauty. Everything that I see online, everybody loves it just like I do. They are absolutely phenomenal, and I do have a code with Cosmic Beauty in case you want to pick anything up from them. So we have the Smoulder palette, and like the name suggests, you can create some absolutely stunning smouldery type of looks with this colour story. Now this one, if I'm ranking them in my mind of favourite Cosmic Beauty palettes, this is not going to be super close to the top just because it is more neutral leaning and we do have more grey leaning shades, and I tend to stay away from greys. However, this is the same fantastic, exceptional formula and quality as all of the other palettes from Cosmic. So if this is your cup of tea and these are the tones that you like, just because it's not one of my favourites, that is a personal preference thing for the colour story. But again, we have a gorgeous shifty shade up here, we have an intense shifty shade down here, we have a delicious black, and if I do need to reach for a palette that I want to create sort of more of a deep, moody type of look, a smoky eye, or even something with a pop of pink, 100% reaching for this because I know the quality is phenomenal. Then we have the Starlight Society palette and the Starlight collection from Cosmic. And let me just say, this collection is one of the best things that Cosmic has ever brought out. I don't know if you can see in my background, I've got the chest like on my shelf because it is absolutely stunning, and it's got a lift up compartment, it's got a drawer in there that all of these products came in, and it's stunning. I have a 2-look video of my first impressions on all of these products, and I also did a palette bingo with the Starlight Society palette. Now the shades that were picked out weren't my absolute favourite combination, but this palette is absolutely beautiful. A £20 palette with pastels. We've already said I like a pastel. Some depth, some midtones, and some insane shimmers. Insane. I'm going to use that word because this one is the most ridiculously shifty type of shimmer that is in this palette. We also have some more toppery, ethereal type of shades. Like, I don't even know how to describe this colour story so that it does it justice, but you can see. You can see how absolutely incredible this is. And this is very up my street because it is colourful. But each and every time I've used this palette, I have enjoyed using it. I feel like I need to use it again for a different palette bingo because I feel like I was robbed on my other one with the choices and the shades that came out. So with that collection came 4 lip products. There are 2 liquid lipsticks and there are 2 tinted lip oils. Now the lip oils, we have a blue sparkle lip oil, which is a tiny hint of blue, and that is called Spellbound. And then the other one that is this shade here, it's more of a neutral lip oil shade, is called Ritual. Then we have like a mauvey tone, which is the liquid lipstick, and it is in Andromeda. And then the last one, which is the liquid lipstick, is my favourite out of the 4 because this tone on the lips is so clayey and earthy and different and a little bit sort of, I don't know, I can feel like there's like an earthy green to it, if you know what I mean. And this one is called Eternal. I absolutely love this shade. And both of these formulas are extremely comfortable. Like I was saying earlier, with the What's Up Beauty liquid lipstick formula. Cosmic Beauty as well, a really, really thin, lightweight formula that is long lasting, kiss proof, comfortable. Absolutely love it. I hope they come out with more shades. And the lip oils again, I think the, hold on, what's that shade again? I think the Ritual shade is slightly more pigmented than the blue shade, but again, both comfortable, delicious formulas. I'm actually losing my voice now. I think I need to go and have a hot drink and a Strepsil after this. Then we have the 4 metallic eyeliners. In my palette bingo I said that there was 3 for some reason, but no, I was wrong. There is definitely 4. So the really special shifty sort of multi-chrome duo chromey one is called Astral, and it's more of a purpley blue. We've got more of a rose gold that's called Charms. We've got a nice light blue called Whimsical, it's like a blue-white, and then we also have Sunburst, which is more of a gold. That is an interesting formula. Like, personally, I don't put metallic shades in my waterline, but I did for the palette bingo look, and I did use Astral, and it did go in the waterline really, really well. It is shifty, but it's just not my favourite aesthetic to have a metallic-y shade in the waterline. So I did also use, I think it was in my first look, I think I used Whimsical just towards sort of the inner corner, but again, because these are like little precise pens, you can draw on or use this wherever you want to use it if you don't even want to use it in the waterline. But even when I was swatching these on my arm, these are extremely long-lasting, smudge-proof. Like, it takes a lot to remove them if you're swatching them on your arm. They're non-budging. Fantastic formula. Then last but not least, we have the highlighter trio from the collection, and it's the Astral Radiance highlighter trio. Now, I do have the trio from before that was released with the Delicious Delights collection, and I absolutely loved it. That was really glittery, sparkly, intense. But these 3 are definitely different to that. These feel more wet look on the skin, especially the middle one called Starlight that's got a bit of a bluey shift. I have got Sunbeam on today that is just like a blush topper, and Moonbeam is like an icy white silver type of shade. And I feel like these are a little bit more, not necessarily subtle because they can still be blinding, but they're less glittery and more wet looking on the skin, which I appreciate. I like the fact that it's a little bit different to what we've previously had, and I like the shades included. I think it goes with the collection really nicely. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything in this video that I was supposed to come back and let you know about. I do like to do these videos more regularly than what I actually have been doing, just to let you know my final thoughts when I've used the products a little bit more, because I do like doing the first impressions videos and different looks with things, but it's really good to come back at a later date and actually let you know my final thoughts. Have I had any issues with anything? Did I find out anything else about the product? On the whole though, out of all of this stuff, like, I have liked the majority of it. So hopefully you found it informative in case you were considering picking up any of these items, and if not, if you just wanted to listen to somebody chat about some makeup, I hope you enjoyed the video also. I can't promise that I'm going to remember to tag every single thing that I have spoken about down below in the description box. I don't even know if I will have enough characters left in my description box to do that. I will endeavour to try. But like I say, if you wanted to see anything a little bit more in depth, if you check back on my previous videos, you should be able to find a video for each and every product that I've spoken about. If you've stuck with me until this point, you deserve a Blue Peter badge. Thank you so much for checking out this video, guys, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye!